A manica was a type of iron or bronze arm guard, with curved and overlapping metal segments or plates, fastened to leather straps, worn by Roman gladiators called crupellarii, and later by soldiers. Origins and early use. As early as Achaemenid times, there were references to a chera, which consisted of hoops of metal that would be worn on the rein arm of a cavalryman. Hooped armor became extremely popular in the Sacer, Parthian, and Kushan kingdoms and was used on both arms and legs. They can be seen at Kalchine and on many pieces of Parthian artwork. In addition, 2 pieces were excavated at Taxila, dating to the 1st century. Roman troops fought crupellarii in the revolt of Florus and Sacrovir of 21 AD. From Trajan's Dacian wars come the only representational evidence for the use of the manica, and we do not know if its use in that campaign was widespread or rare. Manici are attested as a supplement to metal body armor on several reliefs depicting the campaign, including the Tropium Traiani at Adamkici in Trajan's column. These extra pieces of armor may have been used as a protection against the Dacian falces, which were two-handed weapons which could hit with great force. Trajan's column in Rome seems to suggest that the larica segmentata and the manica were only issued to Roman-born legionaries and not to auxiliaries. However, the Tropium Traiani, which is considered a better guide to the reality of field equipment, portrays Roman legionaries and heavy infantry auxiliaries equipped in the same fashion, both wearing scale body armor with manica arm guards. Distribution and later use. Finds identified as manici have come from Newstead, Carnuntum, Richborough, Corbridge, Eining on the Danube frontier, Lyon, Carlisle, and Ulpia Traiana Sarmisegetuso. A very well-preserved manica was found in 2010-2011 in a soldier's barrack at the Roman castle of Steincheshof on the Rhine frontier. This manica dated from the last third of the 1st century to the first third of the 2nd century. These suggest that the manica was in use by the Roman military during the 1st century AD, independent from the Dacian wars. The sculpture at Alba Julia provides evidence of the manica in use in the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD by the military. Ammianus describes Roman cavalry on parade in 350 AD as laminum circuli tenus apti corporus flexibus ambiebunt per omnia membra deducti. Around 400 AD, manici are represented on the column of Arcadius and in the Notitia Dignitatum. Construction and use. MC. Bishop lists likely components as 1 shoulder plate, about 35 metal strips, 90 to 120 leathering rivets, 3 or 4 internal leathers, and 1 padded lining. The lining may have been a separate component, in order to avoid it being torn by the articulated metal plates. The metal strips were about 25 to 30 mm wide and 0.35 to 0.5 mm in thickness. They were longer at the top of the arm. Each strip had holes at its lower edge, through which flat-headed copper alloy rivets passed from the inside to hold the leather straps in place. It also had a hole punched at each end, which did not have a rivet and presumably served as an attachment point for an organic fastening. The lower few plates were in some cases riveted together, rather than articulated on leather. One depiction appears to show a manica terminating in a hand shape. The usual arm position depicted for Roman swordsmen is with the upper arm vertical and close to the torso, the forearm extended horizontally with the thumb uppermost. The plates were probably not long enough to cover the whole circumference of the arm, but would have extended from the upper arm down to the thumb, leaving an unprotected area at the back. The plates overlapped upwards, directing any blow to the inside of the elbow, which had a particularly dense coverage of multiple plates.